Good evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, local schools are transitioning away from the hybrid plan. Telahoma Historical Society celebrated the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage, and the Telehoma Wildcats get to keep the coffee pot for another year. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Many Tennesseans are wondering, do masks really fight the spread of COVID-19? A recent study shows they do. 2 hairstylists worked for several days with respiratory symptoms and serviced patrons in close contact. Both stylists later tested positive for COVID-19. 139 clients were exposed to coronavirus after being in direct contact. Both stylists and their customers opted to wear masks. No COVID-19 symptoms were identified among the 139 exposed clients or their secondary contacts. Out of the clients that were tested, all tested negative for COVID-19. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
Welcome back. On Friday, Dr. Katerine Stevens, Director of Schools in Telehoma, released the following statement. Quote, Tullahoma City Schools began the year using the Pathway to Reentry 2020-2021 to help our district in determining opening procedures and potential next steps. We are transitioning away from using the pathway as we now have district and school level data related to COVID-19 that will help in decision making related to closures or changes in scenario, traditional, hybrid, and full distance. Based on the current data we have and with the current procedures we have in place, district and school level leadership believe it to be in the best interest of our students to return to in-person instruction. Distance learners will continue to receive daily virtual instruction. Prioritizing instructional and emotional supports as it relates to our students' overall health and safety is the focus of this decision. This transition back to an in-person instruction for traditional learners will occur on Tuesday, September 8th. As a reminder, from August 31st to September 4th, we will continue with the current hybrid plan. Procedures will remain in place at each school to help ensure the health and safety of our school family. We desire to keep students in school for as long as possible, and we know the mitigation strategies below are helpful in maintaining a safe environment for all. It is important for all to continue to practice the mitigation strategies we have in place to promote safety. Masks are recommended for all. Wear them correctly, covering nose and mouth. Daily temperature checks, frequent hand washing and hand sanitizing, social distancing practices when feasible, strategic movement of students, cleaning and disinfecting commonly touched surfaces and objects throughout the day. We are grateful to partner with the Tennessee Department of Health team members who have provided guidance related to mitigation strategies, as well as steps to follow when a positive case is identified. We appreciate the team effort of everyone in our community working together to reduce risk for our students and staff members. Thank you for your grace, understanding, support, and flexibility as we move forward in these fluid times of COVID-19. Katerine Stevens, ED Director of Schools, end quote. Coffee County Schools released a similar announcement, but they plan to maintain the AB hybrid schedule through September 4th. After Labor Day, all students expect those on Parent Choice Virtual or students who are quarantined and isolated should be able to return to their schools 4 days each week, Monday through Thursday. Friday will remain a distance learning day for all students through fall break. Fridays will ensure that teachers and students are prepared for distance learning possibilities. There are not any current plans to return to the AV hybrid schedule after Labor Day. Manchester City schools will follow the same plan as Tullahoma by returning to schools full-time after the long Labor Day weekend. And we'll be right back with more News Leader after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan Mcnab Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan Mcnab Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. Last week, the Telahoma Historical Society held an event to honor the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage. John Gray brings us this video.
Yeah, that's a couple of great ones right there. Look at them, boy. They are dressed up for the event tonight.
My name's Mark Shemp, and I appreciate you joining us tonight for the Historic Preservation Society of Tullahoma's regular meeting, although with COVID and what it's done to our scheduling, we haven't quite had the regular meetings in the sense that we normally would have. But we did make it. We beat the weather tonight, and we are indeed fortunate that we've got Mary Ann Scott going to speak to us tonight about suffrage. The women's suffrage movement, 100 years old, and program. And I think in particular, she's going to talk about how Tullahoma, as always, contributed to it. And I'm grateful for her. Okay, well, with that in mind, I appreciate you being with us. I think you're going to find it entertaining and informative, more so than just entertainment. So Mary Ann, if you would come up, Marjorie, if you would be kind enough to come up or make the introductions in a more formal sense.
To have someone speaking on a very timely subject, Mary Ann Scott, and she has a terrific background. I think you saw it in the paper. Has a bachelor and a master of science degree in electrical engineering, and his master of doctor degree in engineering science. Has worked at UTSI and Department of Energy. So I think she's set a good example for any suffragette. She doesn't hesitate to take in what some men claim is their field, I think. But we're really looking forward to hearing her talk about suffragette movement and enlighten us the fact that Tullahoma had a part in it. So, Mary Ann?
The right of citizens to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on account of sex. That's from the 19th Amendment. And since today is August the 25th, 1920, it's just been a week since our Tennessee legislators voted to ratify. So these empowering words are going to lead us forward. It was a battle, it was long, it was hard, but we finally prevailed. Unfortunately, a lot of the leaders early on didn't live to see this happen. People like Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony. This has been going on for 72 years. They were some of the early women, and they're no longer with us. But I'm sure they're aware that we finally made it. For myself, I couldn't think of anything that I would have rather done with my life than be part of this great cause. So, you ask, who am I? I appreciate you asking me here today to tell you about this journey. I was born just down the road a piece in Shelbyville. I was born Sarah William Knott, and my friends call me Will. When I was in school, I went by Will Knott, and some of my teachers didn't like it too much when I abbreviated my name to Wont. So for the last 5 years, I've done a lot of traveling, had a lot of meetings, had a lot of lobbying with various people. Our work entitled Some Fundraising, and one of the things that we did, we had a bazaar, and it was located at the local millinery owned by two sisters. And we also, this wasn't fundraising, but it was part of our lobbying effort. Tullahoma had a 7-day Chautauqua. We put up a rest tent, baby rest tent. So mothers who were there trying to enjoy the entertainment, and their kids got, I'm tired, I'm ready. Place for them to go and rest. And that also gave us a chance to meet with the women and to discuss what they needed to know about what we wanted to share with them. So that was another really good thing. So again, I have to say that there is nothing that I would have rather been doing than to be part of this movement. And thanks for listening to me.
And after these messages, we'll be right back.
I'm Philip Bourne, Mcnab Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the Mcnab Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Mcnab Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what a difference our detail can make.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carrol Street Liquor in Telehoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carrol Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carrol Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carrol Street Liquors.
Times are very challenging right now, and stress levels are high.
Reports indicate overdoses on the rise in communities across the state of Tennessee.
Those experiencing addiction and their loved ones may be struggling to navigate through all the change.
We want you to know that deaths from overdose are preventable.
And help is available.
Anytime.
Day or night.
How do I know?
How do I know?
I am the face of recovery
in Tennessee.
Welcome back. The Tullahoma Wildcats got to keep the coffee pot after defeating the Coffee County Raiders 42-13. Coach Olive and John Gray spoke about the game and about social distancing at the games.
There's that coffee pot, Coach.
It's
Great
nice
job.
to keep that coffee pot here in Telehoma.
Great job.
Congratulations to our seniors for being able to keep the coffee pot all 4 years that they're in high school.
Isn't that something? That's amazing.
That's good.
So this is the fourth. This is a 4-year run. It's been a long time since. Well, has that ever been done? I guess it has.
It
down
has.
The line.
We had several classes there throughout the time period, but obviously we lost the coffee pot on 2015 and 2016. So the class that played football in 2014, the class of 15 is the last time that there was a class that had won the coffee pot all 4 years.
Right.
So congratulations to our seniors on accomplishing that.
It was a great job, and it was a great environment. It always is. It was a little different because that game usually draws what, 3,000 people, 3,000 people?
According to all the free tickets that get in, because you got employees and so forth, anyway, 2 years ago, we were someplace near between 6,000 and 7,000 people there. It's the largest gate we'd ever had during my time period.
And then now we've got the, not just us, but all across everywhere, what the visitors get 500 seats.
We allot 530 seats to be exact to the visiting teams. 30 of those are comp tickets that go to them that they're able to utilize however they choose, and then they sell 500, and Coffee County sold all 500, sold them early, called me and told me that they were out of tickets. So that was good news, and we were out of tickets by Wednesday evening ourselves. In fact, Wednesday at lunchtime.
Now, excuse me, the 500, is that something that you set, or is that something that the TSSAA sets?
No, we measured out seats and bleachers, and that's what our visitors, once we got everything set up, the visitor side could hold, I don't remember the exact number, but it's like 570.
Right.
And so we chose to put 530 in circulation because you have TSSAA and TACA passes that get people in.
Right.
For instance, when we played Shelby County, Marshall County was here.
Right.
That leaves a little bit of seating space if we have sold every ticket, which we had this time, for those type people who walk in. Superintendents of schools get passes, your principals get passes, so that's all done either through the TSSAA or through the coaching organization, TACA.
Right.
And because of that, we felt like we needed to leave some space to account for those people.
Right, gotcha. So depending on how big your stadium is, basically determines on how many seats you can have.
That's correct. That's correct. And what we're doing. Now, not everybody's doing it that way. And some people are doing it differently than we are. Some people are spacing everything to where individually you're 6 feet apart. Well, people don't go to ball games individually. Not as a normal thing. They go to ball games with people that they associate with.
Sure.
That are in their family.
Or extended family.
Correct. It's just, so we set our stadium up. I took the idea from Jeff Bell at Lincoln County. He's the one that he and I are talking, several of us athletic directors have been talking all summer. How are you going to handle this? What are you going to do? And he says, well, we're looking at putting our stuff into boxes. And I thought that was a great idea, because then if you do have somebody that tests positive, you know what? They know everybody that was in that box with them.
Right. Yeah.
And so it makes it very easy for the health department to trace people. And so that's our thought process and how we came up with our seating.
Well, we've played 2 really good football games to start the season off. I think with no more coaching and no more time and room, these people young men have been together. We had a couple more penalties, 2 or 3 more penalties this week than we did the first week. But these young men have shown great leadership, and they're doing a really good job. And so we need to understand, we as fans, we as family members, need to understand that we can be rolling along and having a really, really, really great season, which is a possibility almost any season, but this season it seems like we've got some things that are in place that we hadn't had in place in a while. And you parents, your kids have to be smart that are athletes or around athletes. You have to be smart. One case of the virus, and at best, you're 2 weeks, you don't play ball.
Well, it's not the one case. It's if you get an outbreak. You get 6 or 7 guys on a football team, that creates a problem.
Thank you for that explanation. That you explained a lot to me. I'm sure you did as well to our audience. To get back to the start of that conversation, be smart in how you act with your children, how your children act, because we have a possibility of a really good football season this year, and let's keep as many kids on the field as we can.
We'll be right back with more news after these messages.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
We know life at home can sometimes feel like you're living in a bubble. There are challenges living safely in a multi-generational home during COVID-19. Here are a few tips. Separate eating times between family members. Limit trips to the store and contact with people outside of your house. Be sure to remove your mask before entering into the main area of your home. Wash your hands and wipe off items you used through the day. Also, try using every room in your home. This won't last forever, but together we will get through this. For more information, go to tn.gov/health.
Let's talk about something that very few of us pay attention to. Print. Print is something that just seems to go unnoticed, and yet it is so influential in our everyday lives. We tend to go about our daily routines in a busy rush, and let's face it, there are some things that we may take for granted. We wake up and get ready for the day, and print is all around us. Imagine if it wasn't. Well, that's interesting. Now think about the rest of your day, and let's see what life may look like without print. Our drive to work would certainly be confusing without signage and window graphics. Do you realize how much print you see at the office? Your desk and walls would really look different without the wide variety of products you have all around you, such as brochures, pens, and flash drives. And that great little lunch spot? Well, it would be pretty hard to place an order without menus. No more mail? Really? Oh, I get it. Everyone just advertises online. The truth is, over 60% of online searches are conducted because of print marketing campaigns, including direct mail advertising, flyers, and catalogs. You see, print isn't just about magazines and newspapers. Print is about communication, and at Mcnab Press, we can print your name, image, or logo on just about anything. As a business owner, how do you get your message across and build brand awareness? From marketing and sales materials to labels and bags, to banners and flags, even custom branded apparel with your name and logo on it. At Mcnab Press, we design, print, and promote you. We are the modern printing industry. Find your local center today at McnabPress.com.
Welcome back. John Gray and Coach Olive also spoke about the way TSSAA high school playoffs will work this year.
Do you have a take on the way with all the virus and the way some of these teams are playing and some aren't playing? How in the world is the TSSAA ever going to come to a decision when we get to the end of the season? Who goes forward?
Well, it's still based on your record within your region. And so they've set several things into motion that if neither region team can play each other, then it's a no contest. If one team can play but the other one can't, the one that can play gets a win. But the one that can't play gets a no contest. They don't get a loss. So you could end up with two teams, one being 5-0 in the region and the other one being 4-0 in the region. But because you have one more victory, then you would get first and the 4-0 team would get second.
Okay, and then it comes to a point, I know I always have a hard time, it comes to a point sometime down the line where even your non-region games may come into play.
Yeah.
If people are tied up and
right.
Just look at the rest of your record.
Right, but that's all stays the same.
Right, okay.
And so just from a standpoint, it can come down to a coin toss. And that's
Friday Night Lights.
That's how they end up solving it. But anyway, it's a unique year And we're going to take each day at a time. And, you know, if we end up in a situation where we're not able to play, that's part of it. But it's going to happen to others too. And so you can't get you all down and, oh man, you know, you just got to take it one day at a time. And the term next man up is more real than it's ever been in the game of football. Because you know, as you go through this season, you always, in the game of football, you always deal with the possibility of injuries. But now you've got a possibility of losing a young man because he's either in quarantine or he has the virus. And in fact, you know, I think we talked last week, if you have the virus, you make it back faster than you do if you're in quarantine.
And don't forget to tune in to this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Tullahoma's new Mayor Ray Noas and Hands-On Science Center Director Sean Amadon to let all of you know how you can still experience the center virtually. All that and more on this week's Living. And stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this moment, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1951 at 102 degrees. The record low was in 1954 at 50 degrees. The average high for this day is 86, and the average low is 64. Mostly cloudy for tonight with a low of 74. Partly cloudy on Wednesday with a high of 87 and a low of 71, and some evening storms rolling in for Thursday with a high of 87 and a low of 69. And that's our News Leader Report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evening at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader on 6. Stay safe and have a great evening.